In today's show, I'll be breaking down the latest Bitcoin technical analysis. We'll also be discussing Bitcoin mining difficulty hits the lowest level since mid-March as price tops 57 Gs. We'll also be discussing the CryptoQuant CEO says the Bitcoin bull market will continue until next year. I'll be sharing his six-figure target for the price cycle peak. We'll also be discussing Bitcoin skyrocketing by nearly 2x before hitting a cycle top. According to the Glassnode co-founders, I'll be sharing their latest outlook, as well as the latest from Fundstrat's Thomas Lee, predicting a pretty sharp rebound for Bitcoin, expecting to see $150,000 Bitcoin price this year. Send it. We'll also be discussing Bitcoin soaring to $3 million per coin as per the high priest of Bitcoin, Max Keiser. And speaking of Max, we're going to be discussing the story of this Bitcoin legend. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this, plus so much more, in today's show.
Oh my gosh, it's finally almost here. JV is going to talk to us. Crypto news is near. I can't stand waiting. There is no debating. I waited all day, maybe I need a life. But Bitcoin is all I can think about day and night. Hurry, JV.
Happy Sunday, fun day to the entire crypto fam. Welcome to the #1 daily Bitcoin pod. But anyways, if you're new to the channel, important to smash those likes and subscribe to the #1 daily Bitcoin pod. Also hit that bell icon, turn on all notifications, and go ahead and repost this over on X. Today is pod episode number 1693. I'm your host JV, and it's July 7th, 2024. Let's kick it off with our market watch as we do each and every day. You can see Bitcoin still correcting some, down just 1.5% for the day, maintaining above 57,100. We have Ether back under 3,000, XRP, Solana, Cardano, and Tron all correcting and in the red. And checking out coinmarketcap.com, the market cap is just north of $2 trillion. The all-time high is roughly $3 trillion. We had about 55 billion in volume for the past 24 hours. And the Bitcoin dominance is 53.9%, with the Ether dominance at 17.2%. How high do you think that Bitcoin dom will likely climb for the peak of this cycle? Let me know your thoughts. And checking out the top 100 crypto gainers for the past 24 hours, we got Not, Leo, Safe, and Ordi. Which alts, if any, are you most bullish on for this particular bull? Holla. And checking out the crypto bubbles to get a visual perspective on the day. It's safe to say 95% of the market correcting and in the red. And zooming out on the monthly, the majority of the alts in Rec City, virtually all of them. So not looking so pretty right there. And checking out the Crypto Greed and Fear Index today, we're a 29 in fear. Yesterday, we hit a bottom of 26. Last week, a 47. And last month, a 77 in extreme greed. Now, typically, the lower this number goes, the more likely of a big pump, and vice versa. The higher this number goes, the more likely of a dump. So there you have it. Let's dive into a little Bitcoin technical analysis, aka astrology for the broskies, and we'll look at some of the live charts as well. Okay, so here we go. Headline reads: Bitcoin traders hope the bottom is in after the Bitcoin price bounces 9% from the lows. That's right. Here's the 1 hour chart. Bitcoin circled 57 Gs into the July 7th weekly close as markets sprang back from tremendous downside deviation. Trading views showed the Bitcoin price action cementing a range roughly 8% above the week's 53.5 lows, which are the current lows. And let me know if you believe the lows are in, or do you think we'll correct even further? Holla in that live chat. These had come after the July 5th daily close represented the lowest level for Bitcoin since late February. That's right. Despite out-of-hours weekend trading, Bitcoin bulls managed to recover some lost ground, leaving the lows as an outlier and tremendous deviation to the downside in the recent days, according to analyst Rec Capital, who shared. But now the Bitcoin has most recently daily closed above 56,750 to protect this level of support. Bitcoin is showing signs, positive positive signs to continue the clustering around that range low area. And he also shared this chart you can see on your screen. So Bitcoin ultimately just missed out on a pivotal price point in its most recent daily close, which came in at 58,250 versus the desired 58,450, just 200 shy. An achievement that Rec Capital argued would fuel the upside to $60,600. Let me know if you agree or disagree with the analyst. Now, the latest live data from CoinGlass showed 58,000 as the level attracting the most liquidity to the upside at this time, with the price eating into bid support below 57 Gs. Meanwhile, Bitcoin long liquidations from July 4th to the 5th total more than 220 million, with a cross crypto total at 750 million. Shorts then followed over the weekend, with popular trader Dan Crypto Trades noting some short positions closing out on the way to local highs of $58,500. Meanwhile, the Bitcoin RSI Relative Strength Index fuels optimism. That's right. Others eyed that encouraging signal amongst the Bitcoin RSI readings on the daily time frames, including a bullish divergence. Quoting the analyst here, I initially targeted 52, but it seems the bulls might have front run me. There is a notable bullish divergence on the daily RSI, and the broadening wedge pattern adds yet further interest. And Scott Melker from the Wolf of Wall Streets even suggested the strength of the latest daily close could have implications for a longer-term Bitcoin price floor. Quoting him here, this is exactly what we're looking for. If we get a strong close today, the odds are the bottom in for the correction is in. And if we close with a clear elbow up on the RSI, we're looking great. And the RSI is oversold yet again. And as you can see on this chart, the daily RSI stood at 32.7 at this time, plumbing its most oversold zone since August of 2023. Now let's look at some of the live charts here brought to you by TradingView via Coinbase. Right here is the 1 hour, as you can see here on your screen. And yeah, a lot of action happening right here. Now, I give you a little disclaimer. I'm not a technical analyst guru, and I don't pretend to be. Hence why I pull up the charts, and it's already built in. It's going to show all the patterns occurring. So I'm not just making this up or pulling it out of left field. This is according to the charts, and I'm going to read you all the targets and price actions in play right now. There is a rising wedge here on the 1 hour chart, which is looking pretty bullish. We do have a target to the north for an inverse head and shoulders, sitting at $63,600. We do have some targets to the south as well, sitting below, you can see on your screen, all the way down to 55,000. This is the 1 hour chart. They say when in doubt, just zoom out. So we're going to go to the 4 hour, then we'll look at the daily, then the weekly and the monthly. And here you're looking at the 4 hour chart. Right now, live and in the flesh, you can see we did tap, 53, 54 area. Then we had two huge green candles, followed by some sideways trading action, then bouncing back up with some more bullish green candles. And then we went back down with some red candles. And now we're pumping back currently with some bullish green candles on the 4 hour chart. I'm going to zoom it out a little further. We'll look at the 1 day. Now, it's going to get more and more bullish as we zoom out, family. And you can see on the daily chart here, you can see we did have 3 consecutive red candles, and then we actually 4, but one was itty bitty. And then we had a decent green candle bounce back just yesterday, and now we're back in the red, but it's an itty bitty candle. And zooming out a little bit more, we'll look at the 1 week chart. And we'll see what we get here. You can see some very bullish formations. There is a bullish flag you can see in the purple. And we do have some targets. The most north target is sitting at roughly 120,000, and that's a bullish flag, a breakout. And again, this is on the weekly chart, so we do have some bullish price action to be seen here. And ultimately, look how many big green candles we've had on this weekly chart. Yeah, granted, we've been corrected and trading sideways the past few weeks. Prior to that, we are on track, family. Let's not forget how much Bitcoin is up over the past year or two since hitting the bottom low, since the debacle of FTX and all that stuff. We were down to like 16, 17 Gs. I mean, today we're back above, roughly, 58, wherever we at. We're getting closer and closer, 57,250 to be exact. And let's also check out the 1 month chart. Again, this is live and in the flesh, brought to you by TradingView via Coinbase. And you can see here, extremely bullish, in my opinion. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 green consecutive candles on the monthly chart. Itty bitty red, itty bitty green, itty bitty red, itty bitty red. And I think we're waiting to break back out, retap, 74, enter price discovery. And they say there is no top with Bitcoin, because with fiat, there is no bottom. But anyways, fam, that's the latest price action. Let me know your thoughts on some of that. Anyways, fam, we do got a lot of news to share with you today. We broke down the latest TA. Next, let's discuss the mining difficulty. Headline reads, Bitcoin mining difficulty hits the lowest level since March as the price tops 57 G's, baby. That's right. Bitcoin mining difficulty dropped by more than 5% July 5th to a quarterly low of 79.5 terahashes per second. This marked the largest reduction since March when it briefly dipped below 80 terahashes per second. Difficulty spiked between March and May, reaching the all-time high of 88 terahashes per second, before slowly settling to where it currently stands at this time. The Bitcoin mining difficulty is measured by hash rate, which is the number of guesses a mining machine should be expected to make before it solves the cryptographic puzzle necessary to unlock one of the remaining BTC. Hash rates are updated every 2016 blocks, which takes approximately 2 weeks. And with few exceptions, during Bitcoin's lifetime, the hash rate has typically grown month to month. I mean, look at that chart, yo. Back in 2014, for example, the hash rate measured about 1.1 gigahashes per second. This was low enough that most desktop PCs could mine Bitcoin because the higher the hash rate, the more powerful and energy efficient a mining rig needs to be profitable. Now, towards the end of 2017, as adoption began picking up, the hash rate reached a terahash mark for the first time. And as of July 6th of this year, it remains 79.5 terahashes per second until the next difficulty update. Under the current difficulty measure of 79.5 terahashes per second, Mining Pool F2 Pool estimates that the ASIC rig with the watts per terahash efficiency rate of 26 or better would be profitable as long as Bitcoin's price doesn't dip below the 54,000 threshold, which means we're currently still in profit for the miners, quoting them here. With a Bitcoin price of 54 Gs, ASICs with a unit power of 26 WT or less can make a profit. We estimate this to be roughly 7 cents per kilowatt. Now, if the Bitcoin price dips lower, more efficient rigs will be needed to keep miners profitable. And if it remains the same, conditions should be acceptable for the largest miners, especially those in place where energy subsidies exist for mining facilities. So there you have it, family. And quoting Max, the Bitcoin price follows the hash rate. So as long as the hash rate keeps breaking out and hitting new all-time highs, that means Bitcoin's going to catch up. And I remember from a while back, he shared the hash rate suggesting Bitcoin's true price should be over $400,000 today. Let me know if you agree or disagree with that. Now let's discuss some cycle peak predictions, I'm actually going to be sharing 4 stories of predictions in a row because I know everyone loves these predictions. So here we go. This headline reads, CryptoQuant CEO says the Bitcoin bull market will continue until next year. Here's his price target. And I agree. Typically, after a halving, we have 18 months where the price action runs up. So I'm expecting nothing different myself. So yeah, the CEO of blockchain analytics platform CryptoQuant says he's expecting the current Bitcoin bull run to last until the first few months of 2025. He shared with his followers on X that while he sees the potential for more downside for the Bitcoin price, perhaps near the 47,000 level, he is still anticipating a continuation of the bull market up until early next year. Quoting him here, I believe the Bitcoin bull cycle will continue until early next year. For those trading in the spot, it would be wise to dollar cost average, while keeping in mind that it could drop to 47,000 from here. If you're not an experienced futures trader, do not open high leverage long or short positions based on my tweets. Over the past month, I have indirectly warned against excessive risk, but it seems some people are still opening high leverage long positions based on my tweets about the long-term cycle. My tweets are from the spot trading and long-term cycle perspective. Warnings about corrections are mentions of risk. Always do your own research. Good advice there. I would also advise to stay away from levered long or short positions because you're most likely going to get wrecked when there's extreme volatility, and post-halving, there is always extreme volatility, family. So when asked for a potential price target for the bull market top, he revealed a forecast based on the realized cap indicator, an on-chain metric that looks at the price at which each Bitcoin is given cohort, which was last moved as opposed to the current market value. And here's what he shared: 112,000 at the peak of the cycle. Now, let me know if you agree or disagree with that prediction. And that's what, a modest 2x from the current top even less, right? Because we already tapped 74 and 75 and 75 would be like 150. So yeah, less than 2x I'd say is extremely conservative, but let me know your thoughts, family. He also says the current uncertainty about the Western government selling their seized biddies is likely overblown due to the relatively small market share of the coins in which they hold. Quoting him again, government Bitcoin selling is overestimated. 224 billion has flowed into this market since 2023. Government seized BTC contributes about 9 billion to the realized cap. It's only 4% of the total cumulative realized value since 2023. Don't let the government selling FUD ruin your trades. There you go. Listen to nothing the government says. And I also agree. I think this was all orchestrated between the German government, the US government, and the China FUD. And it's just like, always. I mean, all the enemies of Bitcoin typically like to get together and FUD Bitcoin at the same time to try to control the market, but they only have so much control, right? Because Bitcoin is decentralized. Bitcoin, there's a finite limited supply, and unlike all other forms of currency, they can't print more of it out of thin air. It is what it is.
What do you get when your printer goes brr? Inflate supply like the Federal Reserve.
Let's go. Anyways, I'm going to continue with the bullishness. We just shared that cycle peak target of 112. Well, I got more bullishness. This is according to Glassnode. Then we'll get into the latest from Tom Lee with his 150K target for this year, followed by the latest from the high priest of Bitcoin, Max Keiser. We'll be speaking about his legend as well as his $3 million price prediction. This particular headline reads, Bitcoin can skyrocket by nearly 2x before hitting a cycle top. According to the Glassnode founders, here's their outlook. In a new thread, the Glassnode co-founders share with their followers that the market sentiment appears to be influenced by halfway jitters due to the latest crash. However, they say the correction hasn't changed their outlook on the crypto king, predicting the Bitcoin will reach a top of 110,000 during this cycle, nearly a 50% increase from the current price. And again, I say extremely conservative, but hey, it is what it is. Quoting them here, is this the big thing, the big crash? Or is this just a part of the normal correction and a strong bull trend? Our target has not changed. Bitcoin will reach about 110,000 area before the top is in. The consolidation we see now is merely a retest of the former all-time high area. Of course, we need to see it happening. Crossing of 64,000 and later 70,000 is needed. But for now, sentiment seems to be influenced by the halfway jitters. And you can see in this target taking us up to roughly 114,000 per BTC. You can see there's a break of the all-time area. There's a little arrow. It shows you the consolidation. And then in blue, you can see the retest. All-time high area in the ABC structure, which is precisely where we're at in that black line before ascending to this $114,000 target. And according to them, Bitcoin is becoming less correlated with stock indexes, such as the S&P and NASDAQ, largely because of the crypto-specific factors. Quoting them again, while the S&P and NASDAQ soared to new highs in June, Bitcoin lagged behind. The key reason, endemic factors are keeping Bitcoin in check, such as Marathon Digital's massive sell-off of 1,400 BTC. So there you have it, yo. Let me know if you agree or disagree with Glassnode. And again, another six-figure target, 114,000. Let's freaking go. Now let's discuss the latest from Fundstrat's Thomas Lee. Headline reads, Fundstrat's Tom Lee predicts pretty sharp rebound for the biddy, expects to see $150,000 BTC this year. Now we're talking. Thomas Lee, managing partner and head of research at Fundstrat Global, shared his Bitcoin price prediction and expectations following the Mt. Gox distribution in an interview more recently with CNBC. Fundstrat is an independent financial research boutique providing strategic market insights, and Lee, not to be confused with Bruce Lee, with over 25 years of equity research experience, previously served as JP Morgan's chief equity strategist. I didn't know that. Interesting. And managing director over at Salomon Smith Barney. So there you go. And Lee remains bullish on the biddies, predicting it can still hit 150,000 this year by the end of 2024. He explains several factors support the forecast, including the anticipated resolution of the Mt. Gox overhang, which has burdened the market for a frickin' decade. That's right, it's been a decade and they still haven't received their biddies. Quoting him here, Bitcoin is probably suffering from the Mt. Gox starting distributions in July. That was a huge overhang for many years, he shared, adding that he expects a sharp rebound as the disappearance of one of the biggest overhangs would be a significant positive for crypto investments. The Fundstrat head of research shared, I think it is a reason to actually expect a pretty sharp rebound in the second half? Well, let's rebound like Dennis Rodman, eh? Defunct crypto exchange Mt. Gox has started repaying creditors in Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash. Its rehabilitation trustee revealed on Friday the firm is set to repay approximately 142,000 BTC, currently valued at nearly $9 billion. That's right. And in addition to the removal of this long-standing overhang, significantly reducing the selling pressure of the biddies, Lee also cites the potential for easing monetary policy from the Fed and a positive impact of the Bitcoin ETFs on the market demand as key drivers for the projected price surge. The head of research has held his 150,000 Bitcoin price prediction for some time, so respect to Tom Lee. In February, he doubled down on that forecast, calling Bitcoin sound money and adding, I think it's proving to be useful. It'll be a great store value. It's been a good risk asset. It is also incredibly secure. So there you have it, my crypto fam. Let me know if you agree or disagree with that forecast from the one and only Fundstrat's Tom Lee. 150 G's for this year, 2024. Send it. Let's dive into our featured story of the day. Discuss the latest from Max Keiser with his bullish Bitcoin price predictions, including a $3 million one, as well as the legend of Max. And massive shout out to Max Keiser, the high priest of Bitcoin, and his lovely lady, Stacy Herbert. I want to start here with an actual prediction that he made. This is a recent photo of Max Keiser over there in El Salvador with the one and only Nayib Bukele, their fearless leader, and quoting Max verbatim. So, how big is the global market? It's like 400 trillion. So what if Bitcoin gets to 1% of that market? Well, then it's $1 million, $2 million, $3 million. And I think a couple of things we're going to see happening. Number one, people will no longer accept fiat money for BTC. So you're going to try to buy Bitcoin with your fiat money, and no one will take your fiat money. No one will take dollars at all. So that will be for a moment of panic. You will have no choice because the fiat money world and everything that's not Bitcoin is going to zero against Bitcoin. So if you're not in Bitcoin, whatever you're in is going to zero against Bitcoin. And really quick, he has two new X accounts I want you guys to follow for the HODL House, which is a new film studio he's creating to rival Hollywood over there in El Salvador. And one of them is HODL House SV. Go ahead and follow him right now. Brand new X account. You can see quality Bitcoin content broadcasted from the heart of Bitcoin country. And I'm going to pull up the other one. And this is in the process of being built out. It's going to be finished this month of July. So I'm looking forward to some incredible content coming out of the HODL House Studio. And this is the other account. It's HODL House Studio over on X. Make sure to be following them there. Now let's dive into the legend of Max Keiser. For those that don't know, I'm about to put you on, family. Max Keiser, the infamous RT host, was recently revising his Bitcoin price forecast from 220,000 to 400,000, even 750,000. Marking another adjustment since 2012. We all know Max is a very early Bitcoin adopter. In fact, it was him and Stacy Herbert who are credited with the first international TV coverage of Bitcoin back in 2011, back when it was like $1-ish in that ballpark. And back in 2020, Keiser said, for the first time in 8 years, I'm updating my Bitcoin target. Initially, when Bitcoin was at $1, I predicted it would reach 100,000. Now I'm adjusting my target to 400,000 per coin. Pretty powerful. Bitcoin is just appealing now at 10,000 or 9,300 as it was when it was $100. Another prediction he made. And after that, he made a few more premonitions. The last one was 220,000 still in play. And also 20 million% gain, a challenge of the fiat. Max has been a notable figure since we know as far back as Bitcoin goes back. And in 2011, a few years after Bitcoin's creation, I believe it initially got launched on January 3rd with the Genesis block in 2009. Keiser's investment in Bitcoin led to a reported gain of over 20 million% as Bitcoin surged from 30 cents to all-time highs. And you can see this post from this board. Peer-to-peer currencies on the Keiser report. The Keiser report touches upon the topic of cyber currencies and peer-to-peer currencies in particular. I wonder if the report was actually inspired by Bitcoin. I am currently watching the show, and they haven't talked about the cyber currencies yet. Edit, yes, they're talking specifically about the biddies. I guess this is the first mention of Bitcoin on mainstream media. So all credit to Max and Stacy. His long-term bullish stance on Bitcoin has been characterized by his belief in its capacity to disrupt traditional financial systems and act as a form of resistance money against the perceived failings of fiat currency. In a presentation in Uruguay, Keiser emphasized Bitcoin's role in challenging and potentially replacing the inherent violence of fiat money with its peaceful nature. We all know fiat basically perpetuates war and violence, and Bitcoin perpetuates peace and love. Keiser's early coverage of Bitcoin on the mainstream media platforms and his continuous engagement with the Bitcoin community played a significant role in bringing attention to Bitcoin's potential as both an investment and a revolutionary financial technology. His activities and predictions have been followed closely by supporters and skeptics within the crypto space. And as the Bitcoin historian shares here, by 2011, Max was openly discussing why Bitcoin was a threat to government currencies. He says Bitcoin is the currency of the resistance. He also coined it the biggest story of the decade. This is a very famous clip, and that was back when Bitcoin was around $1, and they were mentioning it via the Keiser report. So yeah, back in 2011, when Bitcoin was $1, Max Keiser made a memorable recommendation to renowned gold investor Peter Schiff to buy the biddies. Schiff, however, chose not to follow Keiser's advice, a decision that Keiser has not let him forget about, often playfully trolling him for missing out on Bitcoin's meteoric rise. And here's some evidence here. I first told Peter Schiff to buy the biddy in 2011 at $1. Then I told him again at $10 and again at $100. When will Peter Shifty finally capitulate? Good question, eh? Let me know in the chat. And at the time, Keiser boldly declared Bitcoin the biggest story of the decade. This proclamation that has proven precedent as Bitcoin has indeed emerged as a financial and technological phenomenon. And as Part put it here, when Bitcoin was $1 in 2011, Max told Peter Schiff to buy it. He didn't, and Max now trolls him relentlessly. Hey, that's life, babe. Tis what it is. So yeah, Max doing his thing. And in 2012, Keiser took the initiative to advise Tim Pool, the well-known journalist and YouTuber, to invest in Bitcoin. Heeding Keiser's advice, Pool became not just an investor, but also a staunch advocate for the crypto. Here's a post from Tim Pool. Max in 2012. Tim, I'm telling you, buy Bitcoin. Listen to us and you'll be rich. Me in 2012. Yeah, I don't know, maybe. Me in 2023. Damn it. And by 2013, as Bitcoin's value soared to 30 Gs, Keiser became one of the first Bitcoin millionaires globally. This marked a significant milestone in the digital currency's journey. So Max, first potentially Bitcoin millionaire. Keep that in mind, family. Further showcasing his belief in Bitcoin's potential in 2014, Keiser gifted Russell Brand, the podcaster and comedian, an alleged, I'm not going to say that, 1,000 Bitcoins. Unfortunately, Brand misplaced them, lost them in a boat accident, eh? Happens to the best of us. A decision that in hindsight cost him dearly. Those Bitcoin would be valued at approximately 70 million today. This demonstrates the volatile and unpredictable nature of crypto investments and the immense wealth generated for early adopters who held on to their assets. And that's crazy. I mean, as shared here in 2014, Max gave podcaster Russell Brand 1,000 biddies for free. He lost them. They'd be worth 70 million today. Shucks. Now, Keiser's Bitcoin journey has been marked by sometimes flamboyant gestures that underline his belief in the crypto. On his birthday, President of El Salvador, Nayib Bukele, celebrated Keiser's contributions and enthusiasm for Bitcoin by presenting him with a Bitcoin-themed cake. As you can see right here, the president gave him a Bitcoin cake on his birthday. And look at that sexy Bitcoin grenade. 100K, let's go. Keiser's advocacy didn't stop at personal celebrations. In 2022, he extended an offer to Mexico's third wealthiest individual, Ricardo Salinas' Uncle Ricky, offering to pay for a Bitcoin logo on his private jet. Next level-ish. He further showcased his dedication to the Bitcoin cause at a conference. There he took to the stage in a dramatic manner following news that Tesla had sold his Bitcoin holdings. Hence the entire tour. F Elon, I'm not selling. And if you guys never saw that infamous interview with Uncle Ricky and Max, it's a two-part series. I know I've posted it many times on my X. Be sure to check that out. It's pretty lit. One of my favorite. And this is the infamous, performance at the Bitcoin conference with him and Sailor, rocking it out. And that's historic, legendary performance. And of course, Max also even gifted, what's his name, Alex Jones, 10,000 BTC back in the day, and that Bitcoin today would be worth roughly $600 million. So there's no one quite like the high priest of Bitcoin, Max Keiser. He deserves all the flowers in the world for standing behind Bitcoin before any other news media or independent journalists was able to do so. And he's been very consistent, hence why he is the high priest and well respected, and one of my favorite, if not my favorite Bitcoiner there is, #1 in my book, and I stand by that. Shout out to everyone just joining the stream. Let me know your feedback out there, family, regarding Max's 3 million price prediction, and when do you think Bitcoin will finally hit 100,000, that 6-figure milestone? Let me know in that poll, and in a little bit we'll end the poll, read the results. Welcome, family, to the Q&A segment of the live show. We got 3,900 people here. Not too shabby. The peace thing actually had some merit. Wars are not affordable. They are usually paid by debasing the currency 100%. Didn't Max and Peter have a Bitcoin and gold debate? Oh, they sure did. They sure did. I like to play those video clips. They're pretty epic. Ranting back and forth, because Peter Schiff's hilarious, first and foremost. Biddy up, Roger out. You got that right, J-Dogs. That's sick. I am Revers to the hilt. With all available funds these days, I can afford the investment until the worm turns. Max Keiser, I'm never selling. F Elon, I'm not freaking selling. I'm not freaking selling. F Elon. I love it. They've actually made some parody songs out of that, which are pretty epic as well. That is why I'm always saying I am never selling.